It's a new year, a new semester, and California has a new governor. However, California is still dealing with an old problem, a serious state budget crisis. This sounds very much like the message I delivered to you last year, so maybe this should be considered the sequel, a really bad sequel. The state budget process is in its early stages, but it is important for Jacinto College students to pay close attention now. The cuts proposed by Governor Jerry Brown will impact community colleges and ultimately you, the students. By keeping a close watch on the state budget, students will be able to plan early to make sure they complete their educational goals. So here's what you need to know. Among cuts to nearly every other sector, Governor Brown is proposing a $400 million reduction in state funding to community colleges in 2011-12. The state is also considering raising tuition fees for community college students. If enacted, the fees would go from $26 a unit to $36 per unit. The cuts proposed would mean about 350,000 students statewide would lose access to community colleges. The proposed budget also relies on the assumption that in June, voters will approve extending tax increases for another 5 years. The impact on MSJC and its students will depend on negotiations between legislators and the governor. We won't know the depth of the budget cuts until at the earliest, June 30th, when the state is required to adopt a final budget. But like I said before, this should be considered a sequel, so you might need to be reminded of the beginning of the story. Since the state began experiencing severe budget problems, MSJC has taken a total of $3.4 million in funding cuts. In 2009, we were hit with nearly $650,000 in cuts. In 2010, another $2.8 million was slashed from our budgets. And this year, officials estimate the ongoing state budget problems could mean MSJC takes cuts ranging from $2.7 million all the way up to $7.4 million. That means between 1,500 and 4,000 students locally might not be able to enroll. Already, the college knows there will be a very limited number of summer classes this year. We are preparing for budget cuts. We are reducing spending in order to preserve the instruction you need to transfer to a four-year university, get a career certificate, or earn a degree. While we work on our end, there are some things that students can do to make sure they prepare for the impact of state budget cuts. Be on time to registration appointments, classes, and meeting deadlines for applications. Be flexible on your class location. If the class you want isn't offered at one MSJC campus, it may be offered and available at another. Keep an eye on your MSJC email account and the MSJC website for up-to-date information. You can find out more about the state budget by visiting msjc.edu and click on the Budget Watch icon.